Hey everybody, that is crazy. I'm trying to figure. I have a tab playing volume which never plays a volume, and I'm hearing myself, which is only insanity. So let me see here. I'm using a Mac, so I'm not used to. There's a way to mute tabs in Chrome, which I'm using, but I don't see the option. It's really, I don't like hearing myself. When we were very beginning in the streaming, we would get the audio playback because we didn't actually have stuff connected initially. But once we started to be connected to hear Derek and Scott speaking to us, it made us insane. And it's working right now. Let's see here. I hope everybody's doing well. I don't think, this is my last stream for till we return. Man, I don't know what to do. I might need to go turn it off on the other machine. I'm not sure why that's turned up. Anyway, oh, there we go. Hooray! I'm no longer completely insane. Let me get this going here. That's weird. I didn't see that at all. Oh, that's not right. Anyway, we have had a good time so far. We have the Advent calendar stuff going right now, which is really fun. We've been, wow, I wonder why those are here. We've been having a really good time. We had a really good time with Deborah and Rusty, and we hope to have a little bit more time. We see Rusty on Saturday. We're doing our BGG annual 2025 annual support drive stream, which helps raise awareness about supporting BGG. It would is really actually quite helpful if you appreciate what we do, to give us some support there. It's actually very expensive to run the site. I think about 6 years ago, we basically made everything, wow, that's not there. We made everything virtualized, and we really needed to do it. We had local servers in Dallas that Scott maintained, but I helped him with, and we had Jeff occasionally help with that stuff, and it just became too much. So we started doing that, and it's actually been great. Like, we have it's dynamic. You can spin up servers and move things over. We actually have done some of that just recently. We have a behind-the-scenes tool that we use to do scheduling for these types of things and other stuff on the front page. And so, and throughout, there's blog entries and stuff like that. Why is this not focused? I guess it's focusing on the pen. On the brushes. But yeah, it's been good. Do I not have tape on here? I do. So the lens is so heavy that it zooms in, but I don't think it should be doing that. Anyway, we're excited. It's been a crazy time. We have the reason why this is my last stream for a week and a half or so, is we are going to an event, Nikki and I, which this is not the time of the year for it ultimately, but it'll be good. For a new game from Elizabeth Hargrave called Sanibel. We will be probably playing it on the show. I actually need to play the game before I go to this event. Nikki has played the game, but I have not. So we asked them to send us a copy. And but it's a island in Florida that's very beautiful, and you're collecting seashells, so it should be fun. But that's next week. And then while we're there, we're doing a little bit of Disney World and Universal, because Nikki has never been to any of that stuff. So it should be fun. We're looking forward to it. But it is challenging. It's really not a great time of the year for it. So we're trying to get many things in place. Thankfully, only one. I'm probably scheduled 2 Game Night episodes that will go live, even though we should be back before the second one. But all that stuff, anytime we travel, it's a lot. We don't have too much redundancy in the organization, and Derek helps with that stuff, but Derek is also, usually going to the events we go to. At least lately, he was at BGG-Con and Gen Con. So it's rough. We have a real challenge getting everything done that we hope to do all the time whenever we leave town. But we're looking forward to it. I think I'm basically done with this one. Oh, let me cut. I'm sorry. Need to be on the right one. But we had who knows where that, I didn't close that tab, did I? No, I didn't. There we go. We've had a busy time. And we only just got back from BGG-Con last week. Is that correct? Yeah, just before Thanksgiving. I hope your Thanksgiving was good. Ours was fun and nice, but it wasn't what we'd hoped. Nikki's mother got sick, and so we ended up having, looks like he's cross-eyed. We ended up having, oh, you know what? He is possessed or something like that, so maybe he doesn't have eyes visible. So it was a downer. We did end up not having any of her family over for it. Yeah, he doesn't have pupils or irises. And so it was kind of a bummer, even though we had a nice time and it worked out okay. But it's whenever you put as much effort in, and you know, Nikki and I were away because we were at BGG-Con, so it wasn't that much, but there was other effort, and my mom was struggling with a little bit of stuff, and so things turned out okay, but not as 100% hope. Okay, so we're doing Batman. I'm back. I was on Robin here, and he looks pretty good. Has green soles. His belt, I believe, is gold, so we'll work on that in a moment. Again, why does maybe he just doesn't have, oh, I'm looking here for this. So this is the downer, right? You know, I didn't understand with why the miniatures did not have painted, they've done painted examples for almost, I think every campaign before DC, they painted all the minis. They had an example so you could see, and for me that's great because I don't know all of that stuff and I don't want to spend a ton of time on it thinking about it. Usually it is one of the things that slows me down when I paint a project, that I'm thinking about what do I want to do, what colors. And it's not like I'm not worried about it usually. I actually have a reasonably good sense of color. But I will bring up something that I backed. It's Ninjon has so there's a thing called Color Cube, which is really amazing. And Nikki and I are artists, at least originally I was, and this is not an old thing, but it's been around for a little while, and it's designed where you have an image and then you have a bunch of colors that go well together, right? And that has to do with the color theory and the color wheel. And Ninjon has done the same. He's got something that's coming with the same thing for miniatures, and it really looks great. I think I paid $100 plus probably tax and shipping, and it's supposed to deliver. I think it's now going to be after the first of the year. It's always how those kinds of things go. It's tough to get something like that done. And there's tons. He's got to make sure color is at least reasonably good enough. But I'm looking forward to seeing it, and the art on it. He's got a bunch of great artists. I'm not certain how he tracked them all down, but it really looks great. So yeah, it's fun to have miniatures, images of things that you what you're shooting for, and you can make something that works for it. So that's really cool. It's funny, I am looking at these, I have these X-Acto blades. X-Acto is now owned by somebody else. This used to be Elmer's, then I think it was Binney and Smith or something like that. I don't know who owns them now. But these are 30 years old almost. I can't even believe it. It says 2004 though, so this can't be. 20 years old then? I feel like I remember when I bought these. Maybe I bought another box. I mean, I never get, what ends up happening is I lose it, even though I don't. They're never gone. They're always around here somewhere. And I'll buy another one. But I could have swore that was the ones. But 2004 tells me 20 years ago. Anyway, the other thing I'll probably do here is go over, so I reached out to our friend Ross from Atomic Mass. He used to be with a lot of different publishers. He's a great guy. He's a really great industry, and knows a lot, really connects people, runs a lot of panels at conventions like PAX and Comic-Con, and I think he's asked us to be involved with one time. We're just like not around. I was on one digitally, and that I think he did, which was fun. It was me and a bunch of ladies that were great, and I was kind of the boob of the group, I feel. But I reached out to him. He now works for Atomic Mass, and so he got me. I said I wanted to do something different, because I've been painting these for 4 years now, I think. Maybe almost 5. No, I think it's about 4 years. Because I was very excited. I think we went and played with a friend who we hadn't seen in years in 2021 and played Marvel United with the painted minis, which was so exciting. Because, you know, we hadn't really seen that many people. That might have even been just before, I don't know, I don't remember. Because, you know, we had Deborah and Aaron over our first recorded in studios thing in like May or June of 2021. And it might have been just about that time. But so I've been painting a long time, and I just was wanting to do something different. And he sent me Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, which is different technically, but it is more Marvel. But that's fine. I actually put on my Christmas wish list some Shatterpoint stuff because I want to paint some Star Wars. I keep dreaming. I don't know that we'll ever get it, but I keep dreaming that we're going to get a DC superhero. I mean, not DC, Star Wars United, which would be fantastic. Maybe that'll happen. Anyway, yeah, this needs more color. He looks very Christmassy right now. So let's see. He does have yellow there. He has yellow on his collar and then like the fasteners on his jumpsuit. I mean, it looks like he's got I mean, it's probably a gymnast's outfit, right? As far as these shorts and, you know, leotard kind of thing, but it's cool. He doesn't have any irises in his eyes either. I wonder what the point of that is. I can get it for Superman. Looks like I got a little green on his face. But BGG-Con was really great. It was at, so this one is the fall one, and it's at the Hyatt Regency Reunion in Dallas, which is downtown. It's great. I know that they're talking about changes, not to the hotel, but to parking down there, because I know that it's near the convention center. You know, it's near the grassy knoll and all that stuff. It's really lots of nice restaurants, not immediately adjacent. We did walk to a barbecue place that we went to in spring with Mike. He took us to one that everybody's always gone to, and it was back when the convention was at the, and it still is. The spring convention is at the Hyatt Regency DFW, which is in the airport. It's an actual hotel in the airport, which is great. And, you know, I always thought the jets would be, you know, because they don't go 24 hours a day, I don't think, but still, it ends up not being anything that I even notice. But it's a great little hotel too, and it's lots of space, but we outgrew it. And so 2019, we moved to the bigger hotel downtown. But anyway, people would go from there to this place called Baby Back Shack, which is downtown. And Mike took us last May for the first time, and we were like, wow, this is pretty great. And so I remembered we were going to hang out with a friend, and I said, hey, you know, Nikki, that Baby Back Shack was very close to the hotel. And so we walked over there. It was great. Really fun time. Let's see what we can do for the yellow. I'm wondering if well, what I'll do is I'll use one of the colors that's crazy yellow. I have stuff in the way here for my mixer. And then I'll use some of the highlights. But as I was saying a moment ago, so I asked Ross about sending me some stuff, because usually I buy most everything. As I've mentioned before, Games Workshop reached out and had me. I've done some of their, you know, for example, I did these minis from, and I want to do a show for it. There's a new version of it that came out last year, Warhammer Underworlds, and they were like, hey, I'm like, oh, I paint these, it'll be fun, I'll paint these on the stream. Like, well, we have a new series of colors, would you like to send? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. So they sent me all the second wave, which I'm still using, and this is 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago now. Is that right? Probably. And what was the date on these? This is one of them. I think it says 2020 on these. But 2021. So that probably is when they came out. I don't think they came out in 2022. But anyway, so I decided to ask I know they have some beautiful stuff. I'm actually going to open one on stream today, I think, if it's not too far away from me. But I've wanted to do some of the atomic mass stuff because they look great. And I've seen them at Gen Con, and they have them, you know, beautifully painted. I'm not that great of a painter, but I'm looking forward to trying to do them. And so I'll open probably the Thor one or something like that. They sent me 3 expansions and let me go see. 3 expansions and the main game, which has a bunch of great stuff in it, of course. And then the 3 expansions were, well, I don't know, Nikki has been organizing for the live stream. Oh, you know what? It's probably in a box. Darn it. So maybe I won't do that. Oh no, there they are. Something just fell. So I don't know if the paints are still here. Are the paints still here? Yes, they are. This is the Avalanche Exodus and Lady Mastermind. So they gave me 2 boxes, it looks like. No, they gave me 3. Yeah, there's the Thor one. What's the other one? But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the main game too. This is Inhuman. All right, so it's Black Bolt and stuff. The Inhumans, I don't know those very well. I only saw that not so great Marvel one that came out 2017 or something like that. Anyway, it was very nice of them, and they also sent me, because they have a partnership with Monument, which I buy lots of paints and brushes from Monument. They sent the paints, and so they sent me the 2 sets that they have, the amp paints, plus like a main set or something like that, or maybe the 2 main sets, which I didn't entirely need. I did say I was hoping that I would get white paint, since I do need paints from need white paints that I was going to have to order from. Yeah, these are the amp colors. So we'll look at them. But they're colors meant to slot into the system, so they're not necessarily all that you would think you would need to paint these. But I think that's a great idea, because they have a really great system of colors, and I have a good chunk of them, but not that many. Let's see, I have 16, 32, 30, 32, 34 maybe, and maybe a few more Pro Acryl paints. I've been using the white for a long time. 4 here, 5. But yeah, they're cool. They're really, really good stuff. As a matter of fact, let's just do that for a little bit here. I've been dying to look. I've not looked at them for ages, and I've been dying to look at them. I mean, they got this stuff to me a couple months back. I think I talked to them at, gosh, would that have been Gen Con? That feels like it must have been. It was Gen Con. And so it took them a little while to get them to me, so I think maybe they showed up in September. That's probably what happened. And then, you know, we've just been busy. We did not travel anymore after Gen Con until BGG Con. And usually we'd be gone. But I know that these are supposed to be pretty great, and they're exactly organized like, you know, like sort of 40K. I don't know if they're sculpted as nicely. I mean, they look fantastic in real life. So it comes with a bunch of cards, you know, some stuff for the gameplay, which is cool. I'm excited to actually even just try this game. Look at the cards here. But it was really nice of them to send it, and I do want to get to painting them. My goal has been to finish Batman Hush, but it's close. I have Robin and Catwoman to finish. Oh, wow. So they have multiple versions of... Oh, do they have Mighty Thor in here too? And then I guess these are foreign languages. Interesting. But they do need it, right? They're just doing one package. That's interesting. So let me put those back and make sure they're all foreign languages here. So yeah, this Saturday we're just going to play, the bulk of the games, if not all the games, will be Reiner Knizia games that he's been designing for 40 years. This is the 40th anniversary this year. And we were actually, oh hey, there's one. That's French, isn't it not? Oh, these are all French. They come bearing gifts. Oh, not necessarily. No, they're not French. Oh, there it is. I see. You do have, so it's 4 cards. It's only 4 minis. That makes sense, though. But where's the 4th of this one? Lady Sif, Loki, Thor, Mighty Thor, Loki, Prince of Lies. Huh. Mighty Thor. Yeah, I don't see the Thor one. Not that I need the French one. Very weird. No, that's it. Why would it be red? Oh, you know, I'm not looking at the other side. Hero of Midgard. Wow, there's multiple languages in here. So Spanish, French, and maybe German too. Yes. Wow, that's amazing. So they got all that stuff. Anyway, and then they must have different cards. So let's see. That may be why there's so many cards. Yep. Sorry, you're not seeing the titles. Yeah, and I've not done any research on this game. I mean, I have both this and Shatterpoint have intrigued me, and I would like to play them. Well, very cool. So there you go. There's the 4. There's 5 cards, it looks like, for in the Freya's Blessing, Heart of the Worthy. So does that mean 2 Thors? No. Loki. 2 Lokis. Wonder if one of them's good, you know, non-villain Loki, and not that Loki's always thinking for himself. So yeah, they're cool. Let's see what the minis sculpts look like. I mean, hopefully we are really trying to get things done. We have so much stuff to do. And I'm hoping that we can have a nice break for the holidays once we get back. I mean, I still will have things to do, and we'll be doing a New Year's Eve stream like we usually do. At least that's the plan at this point. So that would be nice to be able to do that if we can have a little bit of... So we haven't done it for a few years, but we usually build like a Lego thing or something like that during the holiday. I'm thinking the last one we did was the Millennium Falcon, which was a monster of a project. These look pretty darn good. You know, the scale is larger than 40K, I think. So bases and everything. Bases look nice. Yeah, I'm mixing my IPs. Wow, look at that. They join the frames together, the sprues. I guess that's so they don't get scratched. That's kind of a cool idea. Do they do that on the other ones too? So yeah, I have those cutters, side cutters, that I backed on Kickstarter. This feels like this is not working. I don't think it is. I need some new fresh tape. So it was slipping. Very weird. I generally change the tape every so often. So because it's hanging straight down, if I maybe put it at an angle where it was kind of over my shoulder, which I'm contemplating trying to do, but I feel like I'm getting used to it. So yeah, the details, at least on these, are kind of soft. Now that's fine. It's a big base, but they look good. And then, you know, you look at this stuff, like the pattern on his clothing, you know, his bodysuit. Those look pretty great. Yeah, these are both spaced from each other, designed not to destroy the other. They do, I will say though, they don't seem to, I mean, they're pretty tight. It's not like you can get it that much tighter, but they don't seem to be as tight, spaced as the Games Workshop stuff, but it looks cool. It's too bad they don't actually, like the whole thing just locks so that you don't have any problems. But it's designed to keep it off of stuff, off the edge, the base, the box and everything. That's actually very cool. So I was saying I got some cutters that I backed on a campaign. I knew to be worried about it because people were telling about other campaigns that these guys had done on other platforms. And so I just stuck in with it, but it was not, I was allured, you know, the lured in by the replacement blades aspect of it. And they're nice, but it's like, it's not engineered by somebody who is, you know, this plane here is higher than this plane here. And if you want to cut these flush, and I said, how flush do these cut? You know, because they were like, I believe, comparing them to God hands, which I've never even used. But I've seen plenty of video of God hands and trimming, and they do an amazing job. So I don't know, but these are fine. I'm hoping they survive enough so that I can purchase blades for this thing. I do have some spare blades, but I don't think they allowed you to get much. And I asked about it. I mean, I was kind of one of the annoying ones in the campaign. I asked for examples of the trimmed parts to see how flush it was, and they showed this stuff, and I'm like, well, this does not look good. It was fine. I mean, whatever. But I stuck it out. But it was $75 or something like that at least. And so I backed it, and it said what it was going to be, and then when I got it, it was $5 more, and I'm like, hey, this is too high, what's going on? And then they, $5, whatever. They said, oh, well, it'll get refunded at the end of the campaign, which it did not. They basically kind of shut down. So if they do, it's called Polar Labs, and if they continue to call themselves that, I mean, it's nice, it looks good, it does the job, it actually does cut nicely, it's just, it does not cut flush. And you know, so a lot of people are like, I mean, let's do one. I think I've done it on the stream before, but I've got sprues over here that are not used or have been cut. Probably cut these the last time. You know, they're always like, be careful, you know. I'm like, well, the design of these is supposed to be that, oops, it just fell. It cuts very nicely. It's very quick and smooth, you know. And their example was like cutting filament, you know, like, I don't need to cut filament. I can do, any cutter can cut filament. I mean, you know, they give you like a $5 one with your Creality or something like that, if that, and it does fine. I don't need to have anything better than that. But one of the things they were like recommending, don't cut close to the mini because you'll distort it. But like God hands will allow you to cut flush to the part and have no distortion. God hands cost $50 some. So that's a premium, but guess what? These are $25 more than that, or $20 more than that. So these should be similar, and they are not. I wish you could see the angle here. It's so weird, like the anvil. I could tell from right away, it's like this part is milled the wrong side. I wonder if you could, no you can't. So you can see this is all removable, but this is not, it's never gonna cut flush. And you could see, if you go to look at the Kickstarter, you can see the stuff they sent responding to me. And it's like, you guys, can you see that? It's not a good cut. You know, you've damaged the part showing me how to cut. And it makes me wonder, do they even do things like gunpla and stuff like that, which is what they're really targeting. I mean, I think that's what God Hands target as well. I just like the idea of not having to trim more than, you know, to work the material, the plastic more than, you know, a little. So it's a downer. So I don't have anything great. Here's my clippers. I think these are the most modern clippers I have. These are Games Workshop ones from, you know, and they were not cheap, but they're cheap because now their cutters are like $30 or more. These work fine. As a matter of fact, let's just cut another thing here. See how these work. These will not cut as smooth. They're definitely, those other ones are very nice. But yeah, these don't cut like these don't cut through as smoothly. Those other ones are literally cutting like butter. It's the end result that's frustrating. Like, I would like to use the main cut like these, but actually I would use the others. So that means probably what I'll do is I'll buy God hand ones or something like that and see what they do. But you know, supposedly people break them, and I don't know. I'm a careful person, but am I? I don't know. You know, and I don't like using blades to cut close. Do they have directions on how to do this in here? I didn't even notice that. Like assembly. Was a piece of paper, but I bet that doesn't have it in there. Interesting. Maybe they do. I didn't look at it carefully. But yeah, travel at this time of the year is really challenging. It's actually bad enough going right up against, you know, BGG Con is right up against Thanksgiving. We went home on Monday before Thanksgiving, and that's fine. You know, it wasn't terrible. Read this first. So it is. There's a QR code to visit the assembly stuff. Sharp pair of hobby clippers. Sharp hobby knife. Yeah. See, I'm okay with that, but let's go and see what we get. What is this? Oh, this is from my flight. So I have my old phone here because I ended up buying a new one, and this is just on, you know, a little Wi-Fi, play some music things and stuff like that, take pictures, and it updated with all my communicate, you know, text messages and everything while we were gone. So yeah, Atomic Mass, you know, they do Legion now. That is it though. They're not doing any of the others. I mean, Crisis Protocol. So Star Wars Legion, Star Wars Shatterpoint, and Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm doing Thor. What do they call this set? This is the Mighty Thor, Lady Sif, Thor, Hero Midgard, and Loki, Prince of Lies. I can just type Mighty Thor and maybe find it. Mighty Thor. Let's see what we get. Did I do it? Oh, no, that's it. Boom. Download the PDF. I guess that's okay. These look very similar to Games Workshop ones. It is amazing how great mini manufacturing sculpting and manufacturing has gotten. It's so phenomenally great. And it's a knockout, you know, they really look great. Let's see here. So they've had all those summaries of what you've done, what you've watched over the year, and I was actually looking forward to seeing what the YouTube is, and I realized before I even looked, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I delete my history. I actually don't. I like the discovery aspect of things, so when I use, because you know, when I use, the weird thing is though, so you know how if you go and you're not logged in and you look at the front page of YouTube, you'll just see these videos that have like 50 million views that I've never seen or anything when I'm on my account. So that never gets to that level. But for example, I also go on Reddit occasionally, you know, almost daily probably, and read stuff. I'm into Plex and all kinds of stuff on there, and the Beatles. And they give you, if I have an anonymous browsing, which you can't do on your desktop, so I end up doing it on the phone, which I don't like being on the phone. But when you do the anonymous browsing, you see a bunch of different stuff. It still seems to tailor somewhat to my interest, but I never see any Plex things. I mean, I think the Beatles stuff, I'm not sure, but I clear the history on there too, because I just want to see different stuff. I want to see things that I wouldn't normally bump into. Now, I have lots of subscriptions on, I have some things I follow on Reddit, but not much. And then on YouTube, I have lots. And so I look at those. The funny thing, though, is I follow, like, there's a guy in the UK doing a thing called Trash Theory about music, and he, you know, focuses on UK bands, but not entirely. And it's pretty interesting. He's very slow speaker for me, and so I end up watching him at a accelerated speed. When you're hearing about music, you hear it fast, so it's not as great. But at least it's weird. Like, I've gotten to where certain people just are very slow speakers, and I've moved beyond. I'm like always joking that I'm hitting the fast forward, not the fast forward button, but the multiply button for people just to speed up. But not that I speak really that quickly, I don't think, but maybe I do. Let me see, where was I at on this? But it's been crazy. Okay, I'm not going to assemble right now. But let's just pull one of these apart. It does have that. Let me go look at it and see. Okay, so let's just do Thor. I'm just wondering if I'm going to want to do, you know, where I would have it not completely assemble it. So do they tell you? Oh, they give you the CO2, so it's probably the sprue number. That's A, that's B. Oh, he's got a thunder, so we get lightning, of course, lightning for the thunder. Is C the big one? Well, there's his hammer. That is C, and that is D. I'm going to split them apart already. So I'll use these to do a close cut, but not up to the part. They do cut nice. I mean, I'm sure the other ones cut really nicely too. I've never had any super amazing clippers. I'm just disappointed that these were so expensive. They haven't, I don't think everybody's gotten their stuff yet. It's really kind of frustrating. I might have been an early backer. I mean, a lot of people left. I just thought, well, I'll just stick with it and see. Maybe they'll be okay. Maybe they'll pull it off. And they're nice. They're just not what I hoped for. But I mean, I've watched lots of videos where people cut with God hands and the like with the clippers, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Okay, so first thing, We want his torso, so it's C01 and C02. And there they are. Assembly is one of the things that I enjoy. I will tell you, I do a better job of cleaning mold lines when I do this than when I do them on the Marvel United pre-assembled ones. And I don't get it. Like I sit there and I think I'm spending all this time and then I'll paint it. I'm like, well, there's a whole section I missed. And it's a bummer for me because I actually like to do that stuff and I'm sad that I somehow fouled that up. So you can see here, it's got a bit of a, oops, drop it. It's got a bit of a tag. What is going on here? Okay, so I'm going to use a knife. I have this one knife that I found another place. We talked about it on the stream last month or 2 months ago, and I found another company selling them on a similar knife to this, exactly the same model but a different, you know, in quotes, manufacturer. Yeah, I'm not doing a great job of cleaning this. And they were not as terribly priced. I think somebody on the stream found somebody selling this exact model and manufacturer or retailer, or it's not a retailer, but they were asking $20 plus shipping, and I think I probably paid, I mean, I think I saw on the photo in the eBay listing, you know, $2.97, and that's what I paid. It said it listed Michaels, and that's a very good possibility I bought it there. But I love it because it won't roll. It's not going to roll off the table if you're ever on a slightly inclined table, and it is clockwise to loosen and counter or anti-clockwise to tighten it. So I broke this one. This is all like nice plastic, but it snapped, and I was able to fix it. I pinned it. You know, I took it apart, pinned it, and put it back together, and it worked perfect. It's working perfectly fine. But I was like, wow, I kind of wish I could get another of these, and I almost want to buy the one because I think you get a better shipping deal if you buy a bunch of them from this other. Now, I don't remember how I found it because it's a different company. Maybe the laser, what do they call this? Laser, it's on the lid. Laser blade is probably on the other one, but it didn't have the handy. Maybe it had handy, but it's PHC is the manufacturer supposedly here, but it's a Pacific something or other here. The other one was somebody else, and it was yellow. So all the red was yellow. Which isn't terrible, of course. But man, the paint jobs of these if you have the opportunity, go check it out at any of the conventions, the Atomic Mass / Asmodee booth. Just amazing. But yeah, Ross has been on the show a couple times. We keep talking about it. He lives in San Diego, so he did live here, I think, briefly, maybe during the pandemic times, and you know, his network and his friends and family are all in down south. So, but you know, he comes up here, so. But we are going to have about 12 people over if we're lucky. on Saturday. No, not all at the same time. But one who has said that they'll make it, I still don't want to jinx it, but a long time guest of the show. We haven't had him on 4 years. And it would be really great to see him. Hey, Daryl. Thanks so much for the support. So you can see this goes together pretty tightly. Daryl should be here, hopefully on Saturday. That'll be awesome. How you doing? Yeah, raw. So we'll probably, Raw supports 5, so we might play that. Maybe I will, when I'm not at the table, some others can play it, because I know Jackie Fox would like to play Raw, and then Aaron wants to play Amun-Ra, and we have both those games. We do have the new Raw, just not the deluxe one, but that's not necessary. Once again, the phone closed. I think I should put it on a charger here. Then it might stay up. Okay, let me see here. Keep it up so it stays on and I can see it. I need a longer cable. Oh, why did it do that? Oh no, where did it go? It was a download, I think. So let's see if I can find it here. It's not here. I guess I didn't download it. Boo. Let's go to history. Atomic mass. How do we save it? You can't click it to save it either. It's weird. I can do that sometimes. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So I can see it here. Hey, Time Roller. I watch some channels like that. I'm a crazy person. I'm always into just different stuff. I like to learn stuff, and I have like a bajillion hobbies, so I don't watch as much. Scott watches a lot of pinball. I don't watch as much pinball, and I love playing pinball, but I don't watch a ton of it. Let's see if that'll work for a minute. Okay. Oh, I want to see. The whole reason going over there was to see what I'm doing next. It is not loading right. I don't get it. Anyway, so step 2 is a leg. Okay, well, I'll do this. So it doesn't look like it's as flush as GW stuff when you put it together. And it also is not push fit, which is fine. But I will put a little bit of glue into the socket, and then I'll probably do a little bit around the edge. So I will use the quick setting. I plan on it. We'll chat with you tomorrow. Awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. It'll be fun. We haven't seen Daryl for a few weeks. He is going to go to, they have plans to go to BGCon in spring, which will be awesome. He's like, oh, I keep forgetting that it's a different con, He wasn't going to the fall one, but So the fall one has the SGJ jury, which is fun, and Daryl has met Christoph. So Christoph, if they're there, the jury may, there's different people running it, and I really like Harold, who runs the event, or runs the jury. He's just not necessarily, doesn't know that it's worth it to come. The people that have come to BGG Con for the event all think it's great. They actually appreciate the input because it's a lot of excited people to check out the games. And that's not to say that the Germans don't feel that way, but maybe they're just a little more jaded. I don't know. But yeah, it should be fun. We really love when the jury's there because we get to play all of the nominated games. And the way I do the show is I like for people to not know the game, some of the people at least, to not know the game. And it looks like it's going together okay. The seam here feels like they could have hidden it with this seam. I don't know if that's a, oh no, I think that's a mold line seam that's not great. But regardless, I was saying, how everybody's getting better. These are amazing, right? The plastic seems, I like a stiffer plastic like the Games Workshop ones, and these seem pretty great. So that's the first piece. Then I need phone shut off. Come on. Trying to slide up. Okay, so I need C4 and C5. C4 and C5. That is a knee, leg and a knee. It is crazy how they have gotten on, there's C4, on GW with their push fit, where you don't even need glue. And they actually have it so that it trims from the sprue very smoothly. Like it doesn't trim, it just pops off. And it's pretty amazing how great that has gotten. So part of the thing about stuff, so Daryl's actually one of the people that got me into Warhammer. I mean, really, it was Daryl. And they have just made so much progress. But one of the things that they've done, which believe me, I actually like and dislike, is I like it that you can, it goes together and they're fantastic dynamic poses, but to convert the miniature, if you want to change its pose, it's a lot tougher than it used to be, because a lot of the old stuff used to be individual. And there's still minis like that, where you're like doing everything you can to hold it together. And it's very hard to glue. I mean, I'm using this kind of glue that's actually pretty quick. It's not as quick as a super glue, but it's pretty great. But yeah, now they have these, I've assembled something on here. I think I airbrushed it too, primed it. Let's see if I can see it here. I think it's in another spot, but it should be here. Oh, I only airbrushed it gray, black and gray. But let's see how it looks. So there's a bit of stuff right there, but that's hair or something like that. I'm hairy, so it's certainly possible what it was. I might clean that off and do a little bit, but you can see it's pretty amazing, right? Like the pack, there's a point there that it connected, and probably here. And I had to do a little bit of cleaning on those. But they look amazing, right? Their system, now you can see the gap here where it, oh, yeah, I had to put that on. So yeah, these I think have a built-in, they used to be just a socket and the ball, and you would push it in and you could change it to however you wanted. they now do this thing where it really feels like his neck is disconnected there. But anyway, you know, it's like an L, so it locks in place. Now you could just click that all off and then just glue it. But I was doing it for the sake of doing this. But what I do love, of course, is these bases that are already lots of details and spent shells and the magazine. It's pretty awesome. But there's a mold line here you can see. I mean, it's not bad because it's a mold like, you know, in the armor, so you wouldn't notice. It isn't really that visible, and that's what's great. Hey, look at that though. Looks like I didn't catch that. Although that could be paint. I had a weird, like, so I was trying a different level of thinning to airbrush, and it actually is pretty great. There's a couple of people, the one that I've been using mostly though is, oh, I wanted to show that too. So I have these, gosh dang, it does not stay up. I wonder what the deal is with that. I guess that's not working. Anyway. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Daddy Dose Deuce. How's it going? It's weird, nothing's working here. I don't know why it shuts off so quickly. Anyway, so I was doing that new thinning. So the ones I was mentioning, I have several hard-earned Steenbecks. This is one that was, they actually, I believe they sell a silver version of this, and they still do. This is limited edition. You don't need gold. I'm not completely blown away with the cup. I mean, this isn't relatively inexpensive airbrush. It's like $100. It was. Now with tariffs, it might be. But I swapped out the nozzle cap. This holds the nozzle, and this is to protect it. You can see here, it's fully surrounds the needle, which is cool, right? That's what you need, especially if you're new. But man, dry tip. So with this one, you can just pinch the end of it and clean the tip, and it's still protected. You know, it's still protected by the forks. So the really great thing is this is a cap for the Evolution, and what they have done is, I think throughout the line, I have not seen any specific stuff about the Infinity, because the Infinity is a slightly different nozzle, but I think it's the same, but it has a taper that I'm not, you know, like it thinks it could fit, but it has a taper that is different. This is a cylinder here, I'll show you. This is a cylinder here, and then this shows you, the markings show you what size it is. So there's 4 markings, so it's in the 4 range. It could be a 4 or 4.5. And amazingly enough, this does not have that, but any kind of markings, I'm surprised. But what's really cool about this one is, not only can you do that, so what they recommend you do is you go in with a brush, and you know, you come in at an angle to clean it, and you go in the holes and stuff and up here, but I could never get it clean while I'm airbrushing. So I paid $28 to Amazon, which is amazing, by the way, that they even sell that stuff on Amazon. So Harder & Steenbeck sells a lot of their stuff on Amazon. This actually comes off. I'm not going to try to pinch it off without like killing myself here, because it rotates. You can see there's a split here. Come on, focus. You can see there's a split that this is just friction mounted. You know, it's tight though. But I'm really happy that you can do that, because it's nice that there's, I mean, some airbrush companies, one of the ones I've been buying some stuff from, Gallery, they have a airbrush, they'll sell you different nozzles for, if you want a full cap that protects it or something like that. So there's options out there. But it isn't really, you don't have to spend the money to even go this crazy. I mean, this is not that expensive, but it's not cheap. It's It's not that expensive, but it's not that cheap either. And then I spent another $28 on the, this other cap. But if I'm doing other types of spraying where I'm maybe a little bit more careless and I'm maybe further away from the stuff that I'm painting, then I would use that other cap, nozzle cap, air cap, I can't remember what they call it. There's actually a video, so they have videos for each of the, I don't know if I think they did the new one for the new Infinity. But they've had one for each. I think they did that. I think they did the Evolution and the Infinity, and then the Ultra was like the last one, and they were explaining, because it's kind of a compilation of tips, but it's Warwick is the guy, but he ties it together with some new stuff so that they don't shoot everything again, because when they introduced the airbrush, this seems really far away. You cut in a little super closer. Well, I hope you're having a good time, Daddy Dos Deuce. We have been, as I was saying early, very busy, and we have actually more stuff ahead of us that we weren't planning for. So yeah, I could probably get by without scraping all these mold lines. They are definitely fine. So I think that they've done a pretty great job here. As I'm saying it's not the same as GW's, but it's still pretty amazing. I do want to get back to painting the Mini. The other Mini, I want to finish these two. I really want to try to do Marvel United on the show. Wow, this is for this leg. Huh, boy, that's kind of loose. There's a lobster on the loose. Okay, so it's the top of his boot, I guess, or knee guard or something. It doesn't even show. Oh, duh, I'm looking at Robin. That's pretty funny. I do wish, I should have opened it on, it's hard though. If I had an iPhone, I probably could easily share it. Although there is a way now to share this stuff. I guess Google figured it out or something, to use, gosh, what's it even called? I don't ever use it. Good gosh, what is it called? I've only ever used it a few times. I do have iPhones, but I don't use them like I use the Android. Wow, that is already dry and not going on. I guess I should leave it open. But yeah, we're looking forward to. Nikki's never really been to Florida. We went to a BGG cruise that left out of Fort Lauderdale, maybe, or maybe just Miami. I can't remember now. I think it was out of Miami, which was cool. We went on a cruise, BGG cruise, a few years back, and the crazy stuff is a hurricane was coming. And so what they did, they kind of can't afford to not have you go on the cruise. And so it was Royal Caribbean does the cruises, BGG cruises. They raced to Puerto Rico first. And because we were on a different day, they had the Arecibo telescope closed. And so we didn't get to go on that tour. I can't remember if Jeff went to Puerto Rico. Had been, he runs the cruises as well as the cons. but he had been to Arecibo, and so we didn't get to go. And then of course it was demolished. I don't know if that, I think that hurricane probably did the last bit of damage, that it took down the suspended part of the dish, that the focal point of all the signals, right? So that was a bummer. But we raced back towards Miami, and like we didn't get to go. So they have like an island called Coco Cay or something like that. I don't generally do those excursions, although you know we might have done that one, because we did one in, I think on that same trip, that was connected to, you know, it's basically a private beach thing. It's kind of a weird deal, but anyway, we did go off the boat for that, Nikki and I. But it was, no, I didn't go. I don't think I went on that. And then we went on another one where we had to go. We were supposed to go to Coco Cay, and we got off and went into Nassau, I think. And so it wasn't planned. It was a stop that we ended up not. And I think that got in a mess too. It was really a bummer. Step 2. Step 3 is the other leg. So C3 plus the piece I just did. Okay. But we went to Florida, and then so everybody's like, you better get out of here before the hurricane gets here. So we didn't end up doing any Miami. I was the only one that I got up and went for a walk in the crazily oppressive heat at such an early hour, and then got some breakfast stuff for Nikki and I, and then went back to the room, and then we left. And so we didn't do anything in Miami at all, and we're not going to be able to this time either. But yeah, that's her extent of going to Florida. And I've been to the Magic Kingdom and Epcot a good time ago. I mean, oh no, and I went to Hollywood Studios, so I don't remember when I went then. Disney MGM Studios, I think is what it's called then. So I did do that, because that was where I saw, they had an amazing setup for Star Tours. Gosh, I forgot about that. So it'll all be different anyway. I mean, stuff has changed so much. But I know Epcot's not as exciting as it once was. I know they're doing some updates. There's lots of updates, I guess, on all of the stuff at the park. But we're also going to try to go to Epic Universe, I guess is what it's called, or Epic Adventure, I don't remember. They do have like the new Dark Universe stuff or whatever, so that's Frankenstein or whatever. It's supposed to be amazing. Dave went. So yeah, I talked to Dave actually last week, and he'll probably be down here. I don't think he's going to make it to the stream, which is unfortunate, because it would be really great to see him and have people see him. But we might be able to film something with him before we go. We leave, and then maybe he'll get to come down again next month or something. But we were really hoping we could have him do the Advent calendar with us, but I'm like, I told you we end up doing it. I said we had to do it, and he's like, yeah, I figured I wasn't going to be able to make it. Because last year we shot with Mike, and then I think we did everything in like a day or two with Dave and Deborah, maybe all the rest in a day. So, oh, interesting. So what it does is it makes the post for it to connect to the body. That's cool. It doesn't seem to lock it in though. Like, I mean, I guess it is. If you do it right, it'll probably lock in. It would be good to see Dave though. We haven't seen him since March. No, February. But his mom, you know, she's getting old. It's worrisome, you know. I mean, we're having both Nikki's and my parents as well are starting to have troubles, and it's just hard. My mom's doing pretty good, but it is different. Like, things are different, and it is just shocking. I'm not sure about that seam. Now, I have putty, and maybe I'll do that. I've done it on a few minis. I've bought some Milliput. The silver gray isn't the one I would have chosen, but it was the one that was available. I think they're all relatively similar, and it is pretty amazing because you can like smooth it with water, and it looks pretty great. I feel like I've got this backwards or something. How could that possibly be? There you go, it's not backwards. But it doesn't really, oh, I guess it'll go together when you press it. So I'm going to try to do a little bit, I mean, I want to use some of these, I mean, I use the Monument Hobbies paints all the time, the Pro Acryls all the time. But I want to try to use them a little bit more. I'm still going to try to do my method, which is the let's get this stuff done as quickly as possible and still have a pretty nice paint job. And it works. Okay. We did play a bunch of good games but not as many as we'd hoped. That's always the case at these conventions. We did not do any games in the Hot Games room. It's really not a room anymore. But I do wish we had, because there's many new games that we wanted to try, but we just didn't have the time. Even part of the deal is it's 1 or 2 games, and those games are the ones everybody wants to play. So we ended up taking a lot of those home with us after the con. So we'll get to play them, but we would have been nice to. There's folks there that know how to play it, that can help you, you know, if you have any questions or problems, and they can teach you some if it's not too crazy. This is definitely more superhero looking than the movie style ones. Although it's not done yet, how do I know? Oh, something's gonna go here. Probably his cape. That I might do last, you know, like separate. I'm not a big sub-assembly guy, but it might be beneficial on this one. Okay, what's next? The phone is off again. Next is Thor's hammer and arm. There's hammer options. Interesting. There's like a moving hammer. I don't know if I like that one. Probably very comic-y though. And then they have the standard hammer over here. And his hand. Oops, wrong one. So I will admit, nice sharp cutters, and they cut through real smooth. I just have the added step here of cleaning it further, which is truly not as fun. Now they always recommend that you cut, even when you use the God hands, they recommend that you cut and leave some so that the distortion from that cut doesn't affect it. And I get it, but I really don't want to have to trim this stuff. I feel like I end up making more of a mess when I do it. Sorry, I'm cutting this off camera, but I have a cutting mat underneath the paint mat here. Let's put his body there. Wow, this is definitely more of a challenge. Goodness. So this is one case where I would like it to just trim it. I don't even know if it's worth worrying about the stress either, if it's going to be like this, because this is not... These are very small connections, so they're not... It's pretty great. But... Wow, so yeah, this is not clean. I mean, it's okay, and I'll be able to clean it up, but I wonder if Mighty Thor's hammer, I should look, will be cracked. I don't know if that's like a comic book occurring thing in the well, that's Loki. That is Loki. No, it looks, I mean, I may try to paint the fractures. That was kind of cool though, in the Mighty Thor. No, Thor Love and Thunder? Or no, I don't remember what it's called. It was okay. It was a bit of a disappointment. Why am I trying to put this back together? It is funny though, I did take it apart. It's like this. I do appreciate that though, it's really awesome. Nice, 5 Harrowscape minis, that's great. I haven't streamed for a couple weeks, so it's, and I did not get to, I just don't have the time right now. I don't want to spend a ton of time during the holidays, but I have a goal to, number one, finish the DC Heroes Batman Hush that I have, and then get the remainder of the first wave done. I'm actually very close to completing that. Actually, that's not true. Oh no, I'm not bad, because Scott, I've got Scott's minis now that I'm painting as well, and his, he had painted a bunch of his, but I've got them all over here, and there's a good batch of them. I don't know, but I do want to get them done so he can have them back and actually play the game. I don't know if he's really played it much. He definitely hasn't played it much with painted minis, because he doesn't have everything done, but he has done a lot. He did a lot on his own while we were painting, because we both painted on streams. That was how we started streaming painting. It was fun. I think that started after BGG Con, because I watched Adam, we had Adam's paint the he painted a couple minis from the main box, and he did, I don't remember the second one, but he did Hulk, and it was pretty great. It opened my eyes because I've only ever used, dang it, I didn't cut his arm. It's now off again. His arm is CO7. But yeah, he painted a lot of stuff at the same time I did, which was great. That won't be his hand. I see hand on it. His arm, there we go. Wow, that looks weird. I do appreciate when they have the connections go to a concealed, like, mounting part or something like that. So I have this thing, I didn't get it completely wet, of the sponge that I've been using. It's what they call a Swedish sponge, which is pretty good. It's a really great way to not waste paper towels. I mean, I'm not that worried about it, but I just, you know, Nikki and I grew up with a lot more ecological concerns that they had, you know, back when we were kids. And things are definitely different now. Wow, that was terrible. So there you go. Don't cut it like that. And it's a downer too, because, you know, it's got this shape of the, you know, the mesh look or whatever going on of his arm. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Yep. And you can see here where I mean, it's not great under here anyway, but mine has only just made it worse. And then I've got to fix this. Okay. So they have you assemble this. This has got to go here. Doesn't look like it though. I need to look at a picture. That does not look right. I have no idea where that attaches. Oh, they have you do both the arms. Goes on his right arm, so it is this arm. I will glue it though before I do the whole. Boy, that would be terrible if they have you see all of that. That does not look like the same shape. I don't know how that works. That is pretty funny. Oh, this is his right arm. This is correct. I guess that's how it goes. It's behind him. Okay, that looks better. I will do the other arm though before I assume that is correct. So let's connect his hand to the hammer hand. Wow. This feels much more like Games Workshop, old school. Boy, oh boy, is that correct? It sure seems like it has to be, but man, there we go. Okay, well, I see how it goes. Let's see how I do gluing it. Oy. Maybe I don't use the quick dry, quick setting. Use the longer setting one here so I can have a little bit of wiggle room assembly time. Oof. But yeah, I'm excited to, man, I thought I had that, but I don't. Okay, it does kind of fall into place when you get at the right angle. And using the slower setting stuff was the right idea. Because there was a little bit of figuring that out. It's weird. Like, oh, that's right, he's holding the strap. I don't see the strap though. I guess it's in his hand. Kind of a little messy there. The glue is a little too slow, maybe. Okay, let's get the other arm. Whew, this glue is kind of smelly. So I tend to, you know, one of the things they recommend is you cut away from yourself, but I feel like, I mean, I've seen people talk about doing it this way as well. I have more control over it, pulling it towards me if I'm not doing too much force. You know, and this plastic's not rock hard or anything like that, so you're not, if you're doing it right, you shouldn't cut yourself. But be cautious. It's easy to stab yourself. I probably have stabbed myself more in recent years, just like a nice poke from the needle being, the knife being just so straight and sharp. Yeah, these are pretty big. I wonder what the scale is on these. Does it say on the box? Nope. We did go see, Scott took us to go see Running Man, which was pretty cool. Not great, but good. I mean, I really like Edgar Wright, so. Although I've still not seen Last Night at Soho. I mean, I've seen pieces of it because there's stuff going on about what he does with the Texas Switch and stuff like that. It looks pretty great. It's just not necessarily the kind of my kind of story, but it could be good. Okay, hammer arm. Hammer don't hurt him. Okay, he's bringing that hammer down. Well, I wish I'd have time to airbrush it. I really don't want to do it on a stream though. I keep, I have this new compressor that would allow me to spray, and it won't be too noisy, but it's just the mess. I don't like using an airbrush with the gear around here. And I do, but I usually use I have behind me on the left here, on my left, you can see it there. I have the spray booth. It's pretty great. My mom bought me that maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I don't use it a ton, but I use it, and I'm mostly spraying inside now, so I use it much, much more than I did. Boy, I need that to just let it dry and get stiff so I can do some cleanup. That's pretty neat. Let's compare it to, like, well, that's not a modern Space Marine. Here's a modern Space Marine. I'd say it's a similar scale. Although these guys, well, superhuman, I don't know. Because this is a Primaris Marine, and this is a Terminator, right? So Terminators are larger, and he's a little guy, kind of, comparatively. I don't have any modern, that's not true. I think I have a, they do these annual, Games Workshop does these annual, heck, it's probably right here. Annual boxed army thingies. Not like the old ones used to be, although they maybe are close. I don't see it here though. Pretty sure I have that plus a Adeptus Mechanicus, which I thought would be fun, and then I started to put them. I mean, I haven't done them yet, but I did some, because what happened was I ended up getting. How did I get those Adeptus Mechanicus stuff? They must have been in another box, and they were already assembled. So, but not for Big Games Workshop. So our team, we got Games Workshop gave us something at Spiel a couple years, and so Adeptus Mechanicus must have been in a 40K box or something like that. And so I was fiddling with them, and I'm not as blown away as I would like to be. Yeah, you can see the seam here. It's a bummer. I feel like it's as close as it's going to get. Maybe I can just put a little glue and tighten it up. But I mean, it's also it's fabric, so I guess that's okay. This glue though, these Tamiya glues are great. I mean, I love all these plastic cements because they do a really great job of like smoothing out lines. There is I've never done it with this. I've always made my own like on the fly sprue goo where I shave pieces of the sprue and then put some glue on it. Like I'll put the shavings on the miniature and then put it on. But one of the things that they do is they just keep dissolving sprue pieces into the glue, and then it's basically a filler. I mean, I've not done it, so I don't know, but I like the kind of lighter aspect that I get when I do it with just a small amount of shavings and just build it up. But yeah, I've done that for ages and ages, because I used to use one of the glue types I used to use was Microsol, I think, and one that I've used recently. I think I threw the bottle out though, but it just keeps evaporating. These glass bottles, they don't seal. You'd think they'd be great, but they didn't seal great. I don't remember the brand. I think Scott and I both bought a bottle of it, putting the miniatures together. And you know, that actually might have been 15 years ago. That would be why that would have evaporated. When I did the Space Hulk box for the BGG library. I'm not even sure where those are at. I really love those. I don't have those. I just showed you that Terminator. I don't have those completed. I completed those and never did finish mine, which is a bummer. Sprue Goo. Yep. I want to get into Warhammer, but the cost, yeah. Instead, I've gone fully into Poorhammer, also known as HeroScape. Those are fun too, man. I mean, I don't have a ton of actual Warhammer stuff. I have some, and I have a lot of Warhammer Underworlds, which is Warhammer. It's you know, Age of Sigmar, and I have some Age of Sigmar boxes that I bought and some that were given to us. And I love them, but I also love the sci-fi stuff. So I don't blame you though. These can be expensive, but these box sets. So the two things that they've done now. Number one, they have these ones that they do like at. I have one Warhammer Underworlds. It's a two-player starter set. I think that's what that says up there. That's sold at like Barnes & Noble. And then they have Warhammer Underworlds has changed. There's a new box, which you would need. But if you're just going to paint minis and get started, they have these like Warhammer Warband sets that come with 4. And for example, you know, they have these that I painted a while back, actually last year, at this time, basically. The Crimson Court ones are in that one of those sets of 4, and those are like $89. I mean, I got to be honest with you, I haven't looked at it since maybe tariffs, but they were like $89 on Amazon, and they're probably $100 otherwise, maybe. I don't know. You know, they can't mark them down too much. But I love these minis. These are amazing looking minis. And they were pretty awesome, you know, price-wise. So $25 for 4 or 5 minis is pretty great. Sometimes it's 3. It's basically 3 to 5 in most war bands. But they've changed the way they do the cards. I think the cards now are not tied. You don't have cards specifically for those minis. That was why you would buy, like I have a bunch, you know, 20 so, 30 maybe, 25 expansions for Warhammer Underworlds. And that's what's happening in a lot of those boxes is that, you know, because the Crimson Court was part of a previous, like 2021 or something, maybe 2020 Warhammer Underworld set. And so they are just reissuing some of them, and I think some of them are new. But they're not doing the individual boxes anymore, I think. I mean, it's crazy, you know, everything just keeps changing, but they were probably finding that it's a lot of SKUs, you know, to stock all that stuff. So, and, you know, this game encourages you to try. It's quick. Warhammer Underworld is great. It's quick and it's pretty fun. I grew up on Battletech, so I love me tabletop gaming, but I can't in good conscience spend $700 for an army. Well, you don't have to do that. You could be like my friend Sebastian, who is amazing. Number one, he's a great painter. He has no problems stripping and starting an army, but you can pay good money. There's no denying that. And I've slowed down. I still, like, just recently I saw like a Space Army grav bike, you know, I think, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get one. Now I don't need it to do it, and I also got some an Escher Gang kit. What is that one from? It's from what is the skirmish game? My brain is off. I keep thinking Mordheim, and it's not Mordheim. It's I have it here. Something with an N. Necromunda. There we go. And I'm like, oh, I got to have that. You know, I don't need to have it. I have stuff for Kill Team. I have, you know, some Leagues of Votann adjacent or whatever minis for Votann that I'm like, I want to paint those. And so I bought some in Germany, and I painted those 3 years ago. Actually, it was 1 year ago that I did the ones, and 2 years ago that I did the Leagues of Votann stuff. And they were great. I mean, I love them, but I haven't finished them. I don't even know where they're at. Oh, they're probably over here. Can I see one? No, I don't. But I love them. I painted quite a few of them too. Why don't I see them? Maybe I put them away. I don't have good storage. This is the problem. Having mini games is insane. What are you supposed to do? How do you store them? I don't have display space. I do love the, if you're showing off your beautifully painted minis, Artist Opus has some really cool lit displays that are just amazing. When they did the Kickstarter, I was like, huh. And then when I saw them done, because they had them at, I believe at Essen, and they had them at Gen Con this year, I'm like, oh man. But I don't have wall space for that stuff. There's just no place to put that. As much as I would love to. And Nikki's just had dreams, because I have tons of painted minis, and she's like tried to figure out ways to do that where we could put that together, but it's not worth it. Oh, it's getting close to me having to stop here, but let me see if I can finish assembling him. Step 5, we got the arms, we got the legs. Step 6, oh wait, there's another. I'm like, that's not done. So we have the ground and the lightning. Ah, that's what he's connecting to. Wow, I don't think I should glue that together. I feel like, well, we'll see. So let's cut the lightning off the sprue, whatever it is. Oh, that's A. I'm like, that's not right. Because that is that's Mighty Thor. Yeah, it's funny. I've told this story before, but my grandfather was ill, and we went to go visit him, and he passed away while we were gone. And when we came back, Daryl and our friends had picked back up 40K, and I'm like, I can't do that. That's too expensive. And then, I just looked at the minis, and this was 25 years ago. And I'm like, wow, those are great. And so I got hooked. Our friend Alf changed his, he had an original, not original, but original that he had, Eldar Army, which are now called Eldari. And he was moving to do Marines and Space Marines. And so I bought the bulk, if not all, of his Eldar Army that he had only maybe painted a tiny amount on. But he's a great painter. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he had really impressed me with his skills. And he's really great at wet blending, and I'm okay. Part of it is you need to deal with paints that aren't drying immediately for you to do it, and I think that's been just my biggest challenge. I've never been great at getting the completely the smoothest mix. I've done fine, but I think I have a tendency to have it be thicker than it really needs to be or should be for the smoothest application. I'm capable of getting smooth applications, but I am not with white, and I've gotten better. Oh, I needed that file that I put away. I've gotten better at doing white, but no, I'm still not great at it. Because they don't thin it enough, and then I work it too much. When you're doing that, you need to stop. Like, hey, I need to stop now or I'm going to destroy it. And I'm not great at that. But yeah, Rusty will be here. At least he's planning on being here on Saturday. Jackie is going to be here. Aaron hopefully will be here. I have not heard from Mike. I know his parents are having troubles too, and he switched to a new job within the same company, and he is working way more like he used to, which is a bummer because I think he was kind of burned out on, he likes to travel, but I think he was kind of burned out on work travel, and he's back on that, and I have not talked to him for a while. I think he wrote me around my birthday, and you know, we'll talk later kind of a thing, and we didn't, neither of us. I wrote him to tell him about, I think I wrote him to wish him a happy Thanksgiving, because, you know, he makes food, some stuff with for his family, and he really is quite a pretty good cook, you know, quite a good cook, not pretty good. Anytime we've ever had anything he's made, it's really great stuff. And, you know, he has his mother and his father and his aunts, and, you know, it's a little bit, and they're all getting older. So that was an interesting, not so smooth mold line there. Now it's easy to clean because it's on an edge like this. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot. It's not the same. Hilariously, I have basically worked on this the whole time, so no DC as I was supposed to do, but I kind of got carried away. And I didn't show you the paints. I don't think I'm going to have time. Yeah, it's 7:28. I'll go a little bit longer, but I have to finish stuff. That is what's got to go on here. For me to be able to go away and be a little bit easy, you know, peace of mind. It's hard because we do it at, oh my gosh, that means we'll be carrying the laptop. I never cannot carry the laptop anymore. I might carry another little carry-on bag. We try to travel light. Usually we're trucking games around too, or equipment. And we will be carrying a little bit of equipment. We will try to film some stuff while we're there. It's funny, some friends that we went to, we ended up going to Cedar Point this year, which I'd never been, and I wanted to go since I was young. I'd heard about it, and you know, because it's roller coaster paradise. And so we went, and we ended up they were going to be there at the same time, so we met up with them, and they're great coaster enthusiasts. They go to the IAAPA conventions. I don't know if they're, because Dave is a coaster enthusiast as well. He was part of an organization. He does not ride a lot of roller coasters now. I don't know, he's had like a kind of not so great experience. And so he still does some, but he doesn't do inversions anymore. And I can't say I blame him, but once I took a Bonine, which is essentially Dramamine, similar stuff, and boy oh boy, that stuff worked wonders. I rode all those coasters, but the point is that our friends are going to be in Florida, but I think the week of, you know, like between between Christmas and New Year's or something like that, maybe. It would be fun to go with them, but they got 3 kids and stuff, and it was fun. We had a good time, but they're another week or so, week and a half after us. But man, they'll know. They really know the stuff. I talked to Dave because Dave had just he met up with his friend, one of his coaster enthusiast friends that they've been friends since 1989. And they do travels, and he's had to cancel. They went to Japan, I think, this year, and the group that goes, they're not just enthusiasts. Like, several of the people are ride designers. They've worked for Disney's Imagineering and other stuff, and so they have you know, they really know. When we were talking about going, when I heard Dave tell me about because I didn't want to know anything about the ride itself, but when, well, that's kind of cool. He went to the Rise of Resistance it was one, oops, they went with a friend who was working there. And so he asked, because the ride can adapt when there's troubles very quickly. And he asked when it was done, did we see everything? And the guy's like, yes, you did. So he was very excited because he wanted to see the whole thing. We had I think we saw it all. I haven't watched any ride-throughs on YouTube or anything, but I didn't beforehand either. I just didn't want to know. But that was amazing. So yeah, we have all these friends that really know that stuff. Well, that's cool. Is that? Oh, he doesn't have his head. Let's do the head, and then I'll have to be done. 6. I'm supposed to attach him there. I will wait on that. That is his head and his cape. I think I'm going to wait on the cape too. Do I have to put the cape and the head on at the same time? Well, I know that people paint the heads separately too. I am not that good of a painter. Although, I mean, I can probably do it. I did not use the wet palette at all tonight. Oh, my boob. Got it all set up. Let me clean this. Yeah, this is a hard part here. Oh, that was a better clean cut. So that one I pushed away, and I used 2 fingers. Well, Mr. 3D, when I went to a Fan Pro Commando teaching Battletech, we always allowed proxies and such, so the cost wasn't so bad to get into the game. GW is just not anything company I can support because of outside casual play. That's fairly close to me. Iowa's the, oh yeah, Iowa. Not a coaster person. I enjoy the safety of the ground. You know, I used to love it, and I got, it's crazy. So 22 years ago, we went to Magic Mountain, which is here in LA, and it's a Six Flags park. And I was just in heaven. I love going to the park. I love riding those rides. And then we went on, I believe it was Goliath, which was a new-ish ride. So, you know, it's like 30 years old now probably. And I got sick on the ride. It was heat and a bunch of things. So we spent forever trying to find Pepto, which is not really the right thing, but it helped. We did find some. It was basically at the front of the park. And then I just had to take it easy. But then we went to, in 2019, end of 2019, we went to Disneyland to do what was open of Galaxy's Edge. So they had the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, Millennium Falcon thing. And I got sick on we had park hoppers, and we went to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy Escape, whatever they call it, and it's a pretty amazing ride. But it was the Tower of Terror, which was Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I think it's still Twilight Zone Tower of Terror in Florida, but it's pretty cool. And I got sick, pretty much didn't feel great right away. Then we went on the Incredibles roller coaster. I don't think it was called that originally, but it is that now. And then we went on the Ferris wheel, and I'm like, I do not want to ride the gondolas that are swinging. And we ended up getting on the ones that were swinging. I'm like, oh man. So I did not feel lovely. And yeah, I think I have to put the cape on and then the head. Let me just build the head. And so Nikki and our friend Jennifer went on what they call Soarin' now. It used to be California Soarin'. I think it might have still been California Soarin' then. And I got sick. I didn't get on it. I'm like, you know what, guys, you go on that. I'm just going to sit here. And I ended up falling asleep waiting for them outside. And you know, that was that for me. I did not. I think she used the app though. We had never. I think we got the app for that, but we weren't really aware of the whole thing. We knew Lightning Lane is what Fast Pass is what they used to call it. But they changed the way that works, which is fine, and it was cool. But wow, see, there's a piece there that you would likely clip off. It looks like that post is supposed to be there for it to connect. But then I took the Bonine and wow, you know, I mean, I have no problem with it now. It's totally fine. And I rode all of the roller coasters and only had one that I just didn't feel great on, but it wasn't, I felt fine after we got off of it. It was just, for whatever reason, that one made me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, they were like wonderful. They're like, you don't need to ride this ride, it's crap. And so we rode mostly, I guess, the good stuff. And the brand new one. And Nikki had a great time. You know, she got extremely terrified at that, when we went to that Magic Mountain, that time I got sick. And she had got nauseous from, gosh dang, that was a long time ago. She just turned white when we went on. She doesn't actually have motion sickness problems. But she went white when it was called X2, I think, and when you flipped over the, you know, it's like the roller coaster rides up and then it goes over the crest and then it kind of dumps forward, so it feels like you're falling out, and she just went white, and that's when they took the picture, of course. So we absolutely should have bought that. I don't know, it's pretty funny, but she was not happy. She didn't feel good. And so, wow, is that glue on? How is there glue up there? Anyway, and so that was kind of like it for me with real roller coaster stuff. I would try occasionally and I would not feel good, so I didn't do it. And then we did that one at, oh wow, does this go in sideways? Or is he looking up? And now actually it wasn't even that was the first time that I knew the Bonine. We went on a year and a half ago, I think, we went on the BGG cruise to Alaska, and we did a whale watching thing, and I didn't want to do it. I'm like, I'm going to get sick. So Nikki had brought the Bonine stuff, and I did not get sick, and tons of people got really sick on it. So I was like, wow, usually I would be the one, getting green. I don't think I'd actually thrown up doing that, because I'm not a guy that isn't, I've never been a big vomiter, although I've had more of it in adulthood here in the last 10 years, I guess. I guess it'd be 20 years, because I had my first time, I was kind of not feeling good. I stayed home and I was talking to Dave on the phone forever, and then I'm like, oh, I was walking around, and I think I just stood up, but I was sick, I mean, I should have been staying in bed, and I got sick. It was just bile, but I'm like, oof. And I do not like that, so that was exciting. So here, I think what I'm going to do is I don't know, I have to figure out how I want to do this. Because I want to have it like on the ground and like glow effects, like OSL kind of stuff happening on the base. I mean, that's going to be a lot more than I'm used to doing, but I want to try to do that. And then I will then paint his body and then try to connect them. The issue is, of course, you get paint in the spot where you're trying to glue it, and it doesn't work so well. But I'll do my best and see what I can do, because it would be fun to, let's see how that actually meets up. What time is it? I have to call my mom in like 15 minutes. I call her every night, so see how she's doing. And then when we're gone, I really call her, because it's not much, like I can do much, but I think that's it. No, not necessarily. Is there any other place that it would hook on his body? I don't think so. Okay, where does he do? It is there on his leg on that one part. Do they have a close-up of that connection? Sort of. So it's that, plus he puts his leg. That does not look like that. It's got to be like this. Sorry, you're not seeing any of that. Well, there you go. I think that I'll have to figure that out before I glue anything. And I don't know. That does not look good. It has to be like that, though. Anyway. No, that can't be, because this is down. I don't think that's it either. Wow. I really should glue it all up, but I don't. I could do the base. I don't know. So you can glue this stuff with super glue, and you'd be more likely to have it hold. I mean, you know, and then you can pop it off. But I've never been good at that. So there you go. There's the lightning. And he's leaping, and it really does look like his leg is going inside there. It is like that, though. That's what it is. Don't know exactly. Oh, there it goes. So there you go. That's kind of how his body will be on it. That's cool. Looks cool. It's interesting. I just tried to pinch and zoom on the box, so there you go. Too much phones. Or a tablet. We have tablets. That's cool. That'll be fun. I wonder what base he goes on. One of the larger ones. Wow, okay. Oops, there you go. Touch it and it collapses. So it's going to be this one, I think. Yep, there's a crater. How does this connect? Nope, you just glue it on there. Wow, okay. Boy, do you just wing it? I hope they show you on the image. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just want it to stay, you know what I mean, like balance. Although it's very light. But I have some Warhammer United that I feel are too top heavy. Couple. Anyway. That'll be that for today. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? I ended up not painting. I ended up assembling this. Does not show him going on a base. But yeah, I ended up assembling this because I really want to try these. Atomic Mass was nice enough to send me the main Crisis Protocol and 3 boxes. And I'm going to work on this Thor one. I need to finish the DC Superheroes United, and then I really also need to finish Marvel United. But I kind of wanted to get away from Marvel. But I'm getting away from Marvel doing this stuff, so which is fine. It'll be fun. It's definitely different and a lot more dynamic. This feels like a little bit more like old school 40K assembly, a little fiddly at times, which is not bad. They look great, really great. It's so cool. I would say he's bigger than these guys because, although they really look like they're about the same. It's just his torso is so massive, and then if you put armor on it, he'd be massive. He'd be Terminator sized probably, but anywho, very cool. So yeah, we will be back on Saturday. We start at 12 o'clock. We start at 12 o'clock LA time. And so, can I cut here? Yes. We'll start at 12 o'clock, and we're going to have probably 10 or 11 guests over at different times. And we'll play a bunch of Knizia games. And it's also to raise awareness about the BGG support drive. Let's hope people can help us this year. And if you do, if you go to boardgamegeek.com/support and you decide to support us there, you can also enter in why you are supporting us or what you love about Board Game Geek. If you go ahead and put that in there too, it's fun to see what people enjoy about the hobby. And if you love Game Night, let us know. That's awesome too. And then Nikki and I will be away for about just almost a week. So we'll probably be back to streaming 2 weeks from today. And then we'll also have a stream on New Year's, as we have been done for 5 or 6 years now. 5 years, I think. If you want to join us for that, that's fun. We have a good time. We usually play a bunch of Jackbox. We might buy the new Jackbox. Derek, who loves Jackbox, bought the new one, said it's pretty great. I should have bought it when it was on sale. Hey, thanks so much for donating, Mr. 3D Wizard. Print Wizard, I appreciate it. It's crazy how many people use the site. There's so many people there, and it's so valuable. Like, I'm on there every day, every day. I don't do monthly, but I do basically annually. You do it once, and I do it twice a year. I do it at the beginning of the year to get the new patron badge, and then I do it again at the end of the year to support during the drive. And so I did one the other day when the drive started, and then I will do one just after the first of the year to get the patron badge. But it'd be great if you guys want to join us and see what's going on with our stream, and if you are into supporting us, that would be wonderful as well. You guys take care. I will be. I don't know how much. Since we're going to have a bunch of people, I will definitely have to move off camera when Derek needs a break, and I'll run the stream. But I hope it goes well. It should be fun. We had a great time last year. One of my favorite live moments was Jackie, Fox, and Tashi. Derek was away for a few minutes while we were all away snacking, and he left the table down shot, and they were trying to get him to switch to that, and he wasn't there. He probably had to go to the restroom. And so they laid on the table and were talking to the audience, which was really fun. Jackie and Tashi were hilarious. So anyway, hopefully we'll see you then. And if not, we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Take care, everybody. Let's see if we can raid somebody on Twitch. I keep hitting stop, which I don't want to do. I'm a knucklehead. Thank goodness it doesn't let me do that. So, Twitch. I hope I'm logged in. That's my biggest creator dashboard. I don't know. No, I'm logged in. And then it's Stream Manager. I feel like they've added a layer to this, which obviously to give you more options, but goodness gracious. Actor Pat is a good one if he's on. What's that, Cirque? Oh, I see. One of the Twitch streamers. Let's see. I'll look it up and see if I can find him. I don't know if we follow, it's who we follow. There's not a, Oh, she's been going on for 2 hours though, Bonds. Yeah, Twitch stream, I figured out. I'm slow, but I figured it out. So let me look Actor Pat. As long as there's not profanity, we were gonna raid somebody the other day and it was a not safe for work stream and hey, there it is. Cool. 23 people, probably more people watching than I was here. What is he doing? Beef for president. Oh, 21 plus only. I can't go to that one. I'm sorry. Board at home. They've been going for 34 minutes. Let's go to board at home. So if you want to join on the raid on Twitch, please click on through and say hello for me on to the folks at board at home. And then YouTube folks, thanks for being here. Thanks for the chat. It's been wonderful. I've had a great time. And I really appreciate you all here and chatting with me. It's fantastic. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Alveus Sanctuary. So take care. Bye everybody. And then YouTube folks, thanks again for joining me. Have a great one. Have a great weekend. And hopefully you guys don't go too crazy with it. We've been out and shopping and it's been crazy as it is. So you guys take care. Bye everybody.